Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, I don't have words to express the gratitude I have for what the Lord has done for me. See, he's done for me that nobody else could do. He's done for me that my father couldn't do, that my mother couldn't do, my best friend, my sister, or my brother. Amen. He's done for me that nobody could do, and I'm grateful. I'm eternally grateful to the Lord. Hallelujah. 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 Bless God. Hallelujah. Amen. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. You should have been there. You ought to have been there when the Lord saved my soul. Amen. I don't remember if it was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I know it was one day that he saved my soul. Amen. I am the living proof that the Lord came and given me a brand new life. Amen. The way I used to think, I don't think like that anymore. Amen. The way I used to talk, I don't talk like that anymore. Praise be to God. Places I used to go, I don't go to those places anymore. Amen. It's all because the Lord saved me one day. Hallelujah. Wrote my name in the Lamb Book of Life. And I'm grateful. Hallelujah to Jesus. Hallelujah to Jesus. How many of you know that Jesus is real? Yes, he's real. Not a figment of your imagination. Not a good story that somebody has told. He's real. He's alive in my soul. He's alive in your soul. Amen. He walks with us and he talks with us. Amen. He lets us know that we belong to God Almighty by him and through him. Somebody ought to shout hallelujah. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Amen and amen and amen. Amen. Would you all give Dr. Ron Gravy Brown a call? God to cause your path to cross with individuals that have a relationship with Jesus Christ. It's always a blessing. Amen. Some people think it's happenstance. Some people think it's a coincidence. But I believe that it's a divine order of God. The path crossed. Amen. Because we need each other. We need each other's testimony. Amen. We need each other's encouragement. We need each other's love. We need each other's faith and strength and hope. Yes, we do. Praise be to God. Hallelujah to Jesus. You know why I'm so convinced that we need each other in that way? Because the devil's so busy trying to divide us, trying to separate us. If he didn't know the importance of us being together and loving on each other, he wouldn't work so hard to keep us separated and divided. Amen. You know that there is strength in numbers, and especially in the numbers of saints and believers in Christ coming together. The Bible says one can put 1,000 to flight. Two can put 10,000 to flight. Can you imagine when we just come together in harmony and unity and oneness against the prince of this world? Amen. If one can put 1,000 to flight, if two can put 10,000 to flight, then look at the small number here today. It's multiplied 1,000 times over. Hallelujah to Jesus. And I'm determined I'm going to stand. In my prayer this morning, I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. And I'm determined I won't go back. Amen. But sometimes it gets real hard trying to press forward, trying to go to another level, trying to reach another plateau. With God, it gets real hard. And I heard the Holy Ghost say, Sister Debbie, sometimes you just got to stand still. Hallelujah to Jesus. Sometimes you can't press forward. You can't reach up. You can't pull up. But you can stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Hallelujah to Jesus. Glory to God. Just be determined. I'm not going back. Come on, somebody. Just be determined. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I might have to stay right here, but I refuse to go back. Hallelujah to Jesus. present gets really hard. It's really hard because sometimes, you know, you have to overcome things that the flesh don't want to turn loose. Hallelujah to Jesus. But you have to press your way anyhow. Amen. Amen. And I declare unto you, if you just wait on God, learn to wait on God. Don't take that thing unto yourself. Just wait on God. He will surely come through. Hallelujah to Jesus. He will surely come through for you. How many know I'm telling the truth? Can I get a witness in the house? That you had to wait on some of your victories. Amen. They didn't come all overnight. You had to wait on some things that you needed to overcome. They didn't just happen at the blink of an eye. Amen. Thank you, Lord Jesus. But I declare that waiting on God, he said, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Hallelujah to Jesus. Glory to God. Shall mount up with eagles like wings like the eagle. Hallelujah. Shall run and not become weary. Shall walk and not faint. Have to come down and learn how to wait on God. Just wait. Just wait. Sometimes waiting is the hardest thing that we can do. But we got to learn to wait on God. Hallelujah. Knowing that he cannot fail. He will not go back on his word. If he promises something, he's going to come through with it. Can I get an amen in the house? Hallelujah to Jesus. Glory to God. I don't want to take up all the time because Dr. Ryder and I have conversed back and forth, and he looked forward to being here, and I'm looking forward to him being here. Amen. And I want to give him all the time that he needs. Praise be to God. I'm a little disappointed that some of the people that should be here are not here. We gonna go on anyhow. Amen. I made up my mind a long time ago that I won't wait on nobody. We don't have church. When you come to church, amen. They know what time church starts. So since I don't know what happened, something could have happened or whatever, but we can't wait. We gotta go head on with the service. Amen. Praise be to God. Amen. So we're gonna move forward. Praise be to God. I want you all to open your hearts and your minds. Get ready to receive Jim Ryan. Amen. Superintendent. He's a retired superintendent of schools. Amen. A teacher, an educator. And God saved him. Amen. Convinced him that he's real. And we're looking forward to hearing what you got to say. Amen. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Come on. Praise be to God. Hallelujah. Would you like to go up here?
Well, I'd rather stay down here, but I want to move these two things over here.
All right.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Stop and think now.
Amen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got, with so few people, numbers aren't that important.
That's right.
But the power in this church.
Amen.
Right there. Right there would be fine.
Right there be fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Push your closer. Would you like a seat?
No.
Amen. Amen.
No, the thing I wonder about
Yes. Amen.
is what are you doing with that power?
That's right.
Amen.
Sunday's one day.
Sunday's one day.
There are 6 other days.
Amen.
What are you doing those 6 other days?
Yes, sir.
Are you showing the power in the community that you've got right here?
Come on.
Come on.
That's right.
Because you have opportunities all over the place.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you about some of those opportunities that I've had,
Yes.
some that I missed, but I learned some lessons from. And I want to share, I don't have the skill that your pastor has. I've been a pastor for a few years, not as long as he's been. But I want to share some things with you, and it's not what I would call a smooth message. It's not the 3-part message that you get in seminary, in homiletics class, in the preaching class. The preaching class says you need 3 parts: the beginning, the body of the message and the conclusion of the message. I don't have that. No, there's going to be a conclusion, so don't worry about it. But I want to share with you some of the things that have been on my mind since the pastor and I talked about my talking here. And I want to tell you, thank you. I want to tell you first of all that I'm very, very eager to talk to Adam. Because I'm going to see that long line of people, men and women, waiting to talk to Adam. And we all have the same question of him. Why didn't you man up when you had the chance? Why didn't you say it when you had the chance? Why did you miss it? Look at the mess we're in today.
Yes.
And ever since that time, what happened? What happened? He dropped the ball. And when the enemy says to Eve, are you sure that's what God intended? Are you sure? And she got sucked into the argument.
Yes.
And that's the danger point. When you answer in any other answer other than what Jesus said, it is written. It is written.
That's right.
It is written. The Garden of Eden, what a great chance they had. Liberalism was introduced in chapter 3 of Genesis. How was liberalism introduced? Let's take a look at that and see. The devil's a very sneaky one, you know that, don't you? Listen to these words in chapter 3. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals that the Lord had made. He said to the woman, now did God really say that? Did he really say that? Did he mean by that? What did he mean by that? You're just taking a look at this as a one-dimensional thing. God has many, many dimensions. And what he's saying, in a sense, what the devil is saying, is that he is really providing you an opportunity to take a look at what his message was. His message was that I cannot there's not only one way to heaven. Okay. What God was saying was a lie. It was a lie. And what he wants to do is he's afraid of you because he thinks you're going to be as powerful as he is. And he doesn't want you to have that power. That's what this is all about, Eve. This whole thing is about robbing you from something you could have. There's that fruit out in the garden. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't care if it's an apple or a grapefruit. Come on. But the devil says, or God says to you, do not touch the fruit of that tree in the center of the garden. Yes. That's clear. Adam and Eve hear that. Yes. But that fruit is so beautiful. It is so nice. It is so scrumptious. I've got to take a taste of it. So she goes over to it. What does Adam say? Zero. Nothing. Nothing at all. So she takes it and she eats it. Gives it to Adam, and he takes a bite of it. That's the point
Yes.
that the world has changed until Christ comes back.
Yes.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge that we have. Liberalism was introduced. The great interrogation took place. Listen to these three questions. Listen to these three questions in chapter 3. God is walking in the garden. He knows what happened. And God says to Adam and Eve, where are you? He knows where they are. But he wants to bring out the conversation in them, so that they can see what they've done. Where are you? Who told you you were naked?
All right.
What have you done? You recognize that, parents, those questions? The teenage boy or girl, 16, 17 years old, they're out on a Friday night. You understood that they've got to be in by 11 o'clock, but they don't come in till 1 o'clock, and the call comes from the police station. We've got somebody here who wants to talk to their father. And the three questions take place here. Where are you? Who said you were naked? Who said you could drink?
Come on. Amen.
What have you done? It takes a lot of courage for a teenager to stand up to something like that. But I know one of those people. She's a school principal in Edgewood, but in San Antonio, in the Northeast District. 3 boys. She's divorced. 3 boys. She watched those boys very, very carefully. She raised them very carefully. 2 boys had graduated, went through college and so forth. The last one was still in school. He's a senior. He's about to graduate. And he gets a call to go out with his friends. His mother knows some of the friends, she doesn't know all of them. So they pick him up and they go out to the park. He said, where are we going? We're going to the park. Why? Then he looks down at the floor and he sees 2 cases of beer on the floor. He said, what is this here? Well, we're bringing beer. We're going to have a little good time. Not me. Stop this car. I want out. Oh, you little mama's boy? Is that what you are, mama's boy? Oh, you poor little thing. Would you want to call your mommy and ask her if it's all right if you go to the park? He just pays no attention to that. He said, I said, stop this car. Yes. Oh, they said, come on, we'll take you home. He said, no, I'll walk home. We're not that far. I don't want to stay in this car and get caught with beer. And that's what happened. Took a lot of guts for that kid to do that. Yes, but it can be done. Yes. It can be done, no question about it. That's a great interrogation. Genesis chapter 3. Review that, parents and kids. Review that. There's a lot of power in that formula. I left the superintendency in Michigan, superintendent of schools, in 1973 to come down and interview at Trinity University for a job in the education department. And John Moore, who was the chairman of that department, and his wife, Suzanne, took my wife and myself out to a Mexican restaurant on Broadway. Tomatillos, I think it is. I may be pronouncing it wrong. And we're sitting there and ordering and so forth, and John sees one of his students that he had as a student teacher. And John calls him over to our table. And he doesn't look happy. And John said to him, what's the problem? You got a problem? He said, Dr. Moore, I hate this job. I don't want to be in this job. And he said, well, then why don't you get out? He said, my father owns a place, and I feel obligated to my father to do what he wants me to do with my life. He wants me to take over this business someday. Mm-hmm. He said, but I hate it so much because I love teaching. Uh-huh. He could have gone out that fall as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And John Moore said he's one of the best student teachers he's ever seen. So somebody's been robbed of that youngster's benefits, of that youngster's teaching ability. Mm-hmm. And I've never forgotten that. I finished up, I was at Trinity University twice. One year, the first year that I went over to take over my dad's real estate business in Michigan. Something I didn't want to do, but I did it for a few years. But I came back to San Antonio, went to Trinity, and then I went out to Northwest Vista College to finish up 30 years in the field of education. That's what I wanted to do. When I was at Northwest Vista College, I was coming into a class on a Friday afternoon, and they said to me, I heard them talking at the beginning of the class. They were talking about life. The question was, what is life? So finally, one of them turned to me and said, Dr. Ryan, what is life? What would you say it is? And I said, well, I'm glad you asked me on a Friday afternoon because I got the weekend to think about it and prepare an answer for you. So they chuckled at that. And I came in on Monday. They looked at me and said, well, and I said jokingly, I said, well, what? What is life? All right. And I said this to them, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this or not. Life, to me, is a jigsaw puzzle. I've got this book, this box of 1,000 pieces of a picture. I want you to imagine this for yourself, that you're in the place of a student. I'm passing the box around. Because inside this box is life. 1,000 pieces minus one. And I'll tell you why it's minus one. I pass this around to the students, as I said to them, I want you to participate in this. Take any piece of puzzle out of this box, one piece, and that's going to represent your life. Pass it around, please. To everyone. Take this one piece of the puzzle. You pass it around to them. When you get that piece of puzzle, take a look at it. You're going to see different designs on some pieces. And some pieces it's going to be all solid white, solid black, solid brown, whatever.
Give her the box. Now you take a piece out and pass it to the next person.
Okay. Now when you get that piece of puzzle, turn it to the gray side. Everybody has the gray side. And I'll tell you what the gray side represents for these students that I was talking to. graveside represents your birth. That's the beginning. Is there a pattern on that graveside? There is no pattern on that graveside. None at all. Got one?
They didn't get one over here.
All right, we'll get it. Everybody participating?
Yes, sir.
You're not afraid?
Thank you.
Everybody got a piece? That graveside represents your first day of life.
Get your mic.
That graveside represents the first day of your life. Turn it over to the design part. That represents all the talent that God has given you. Every bit that you've got, but you've got to make choices in your life to choose what He wants you to do. So you've got to decide, am I going to work to make the right choices to have me choose the design that God has put on my heart?
Amen.
Now, who has just one color? Anybody? All right. All right. Just one color. Who has multiple colors? Okay. So you can take a look at that with one design and say, I've been cheated. Because somebody else, my neighbor, my sibling, brother or sister, my friend, has many more designs, many more talents than I have, and I've got one talent? That's not right. And I can be upset all my life if I want to be. But that one talent represents a magnificent thing that God has given you. If it's just that one talent, don't ever envy anybody else who's got multiple talents, because what do they do with those talents?
All right.
You know what you're going to do with that one you've got, because He has laid it on your heart to follow that route. It will be an honorable route, because that's what God chooses for you. You didn't make the choice so much as God laid it on you. And how are you going to handle that burden? Are you going to follow that way or not? Now, I told you there was 1,000 pieces originally when I bought that box, minus one. Several years after I left Northwest Vista College, I was at the library at Trinity University doing some research. And I finished it up, and I was going out to my car in the parking lot. As I'm walking across the concourse of that beautiful university, I heard somebody calling out my name. And it's one of the students who was in my class at Northwest Vista College. He's now at Trinity. And he stops right when he gets to me. He reaches down into his wallet, pulls out the wallet, and holds that piece of puzzle. He said, I still got my piece of puzzle. Now, what made him keep that? I don't know what made him keep that. I have no idea. It's not important that I know. It's not that critical. The point is, I was obedient to the call.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yes.
To be obedient.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about a boy. My daughter lives in town. She had to have a minor surgical procedure done. And she said, Dad, would you take me to the hospital because they're going to sedate me and I'm not supposed to drive. So I took her to the hospital. The procedure was done. She said, would you stop over at the Walgreens drugstore on the corner of Bitters and Blanco? And you can go in, I'll wait in the car and get the prescription. So I walked to the back of the Walgreens drugstore because that's where the drugs are located. For some reason, in the back. And I see 10 chairs there. I just went back in that store just recently to see how many chairs are there. There are now about 3 chairs for customers waiting for this prescription. Well, at the time I was there the first time, there were 10 chairs. And there was one boy sitting in one of those chairs. I want to tell you something. When I preach, when I talk, I never ever exaggerate because I don't need to have, the scripture doesn't need exaggerating. No. We got everything we need right here. Amen. And when I hear a speaker who I know is doing some exaggerating, I shut the voice down automatically. So what I'm going to tell you actually happened. This boy sitting, how many of you have read Oliver Twist, the Charles Dickens book?
Yes.
Okay. You know that in Oliver Twist, there were workhouses for young people. And in these workhouses for young people, they were treated very, very badly. Because these are all young people who parents threw them out or for whatever reason. They had no home. So, that's what that boy looked like. He looked like one of those people from one of those workhouses. And I sat one chair away from him and I said, are you a student? He looked down at the floor, never looked at me at that point. He said, yeah. I said, what year are you?